Hey, what's happening, guys? Dan Darrow here with another Options and Play video update. So we are into April. Today's first day of April, but we are 2 weeks away from earnings season. So that is going to make for, I guess, a little bit quieter of a coming week. There aren't that many names on the calendar. However, and this is always the case, but maybe even more so this quarter, because of what's going on in Russia and some of the supply chains, is that we might start to see some unscheduled guides. Wouldn't surprise me. But just in terms of what's expected, pretty thin calendar. So before the open on Monday, nothing. Actually, before the open and after the close of Monday, there's nothing scheduled. Before the open on Tuesday, there's only one name, AYI. Acuity priced in about 17 points. Those are monthly options, and spreads are pretty wide, so definitely a little bit thinner. Honestly, I don't even know if I'd be looking at several of the companies reporting this week if it was busier, because a lot of these aren't names I don't trade very often. AYI actually, it used to be a big mover on its reports, but that's changed. It did have a big pop. It did have a big pop on earnings back in October. And actually April before that too. It did, but it's not consistent. Um, so I don't think it's to be something I'm involved with, and maybe I'll look at it after, depending on what they say and what the stock does. But I'm not going to have options going into earnings. Tuesday after the close, Array about $2 is what's priced in. Those are monthly options. It's a broken solar stock. Really needs to get some momentum going again. There's definitely better other acting solar stocks out there, so I don't think this is going to be a focus for me. Above 15, 16, then it can start to improve. But I mean, obviously the stock with 11, 15, 16 is a long ways away. So there's a lot that has to change before it really interests me. Before the open on Wednesday, Tilray, so about $1.20 or so is what's priced in. We caught a big bid last week as people were hyped on that House legalization vote, but it's lost a little momentum. It definitely can be a name that moves around earnings, but after the latest run, the option prices are maybe a little bit high for a typical earnings move. It does seem to have room in either direction, though. But maybe I will focus on this after the report to see if I can get options a little bit cheaper, just for like a quick swing trade. After the close on Wednesday, Levi's about $1.85 is what's priced in. Those are monthly options. There's been some quarters where it's moved a bunch, but I'm a little bit more mixed on this quarter setup. It's kind of stuck in this steady downtrend, and I mean that doesn't really make for a very compelling pattern to me. Um, Option pricing it's not bad. I mean, if you have conviction on it, but I don't think I do. So it's kind of like a toss-up setup. If you have conviction bullish and conviction bearish, I feel like maybe options leave a little room, but I don't really have either. Before the open on Thursday, a couple staples. So Conagra, about $1.50 is what's expected. It got rocked in early March, it's come all the way back. Staples have been kind of mixed over the past few weeks or the month. I mean, I definitely expect them to talk about rising inputs and inflation, but in terms of movement, I guess it's a little bit harder to know what to expect. Some similar companies, they've been muted around earnings. Others have seen some bigger swings. So, I mean, it really just, I guess, comes down to whether it's like a bigger surprise, right? If it's like surprisingly good or surprisingly bad, then maybe it has a bigger move. But if it's just kind of in line, then I don't know if it's going to do much of anything. And then also Thursday before the open, Constellation STZ, about 9.5 points is what's priced in. I guess this could be the most interesting name reporting next week, because it does tend to move around earnings. It's at a pretty big spot technically, right? Sitting right at these move at the 100-day. It's got room above, room below. There were reports a little while ago of them showing some interest in Monster, I believe, and I don't know if there's any truth to that or not, but maybe if they comment on it, or if it's true, or they deny it, Plus, it's got some room technically and has a history of moving, so maybe if I can get risk down a bit, I'll look at a volatility strategy, or you know, also, I mean, it's later in the week, some the option prices might come down too, so it might be something to look at later in the week, and it does to me seem like one of the more interesting setups next week. And then after the close on Thursday, nothing of interest, and there's nothing scheduled for Friday. So that's it. Like really only a few names, and of those names, maybe only like one to two that were even that interesting. So a little bit slower, but again, we might we might get some unscheduled guides because it's that time of the quarter, and especially with like all people like stopping operations in Russia and Ukraine and all that's going on. I mean, there could be some surprises out there. All right. So if you like this video and you're looking for more information about trading earnings or events with options, please follow up with the link in the description of the video for more information on options to play. Have a great weekend. Stay well, and I'll talk to you.